Hey everybody, happy Thursday afternoon to you, September 4th, 2025. Got all of your stories for your rush hour ride home. Unless you work the night shift, in which case this is your rush hour ride to work. Either way, we're here for you, sitting shotgun for your ride. And we've got a lot of content and no gigantic stories, a lot of little things. Update from the Laura Owens case as Laura receives a win. An update from the Blake Lively case where Blake Lively receives a win. It's a good day for those ladies and not for the people that are, on the other sides of those stories. We'll get into it. And speaking of a good day it's a good day for Annabelle, the haunted ghost. No, not true, but I do have an update on that. Let's dive into all these stories. Back half of the episode, we will cover the Epstein files, 2:30 p.m. Central Time today, going live with my private YouTube membership, where we're doing content strategy for people trying to get into YouTube. As you guys know, I've been very proud of the, healthy six-figure income we've been able to make doing content. It's been life-changing for me for the last 5 years. I want to give back. I want to give you guys answers to your questions on how everyone can get started. What do you guys think of this merch logo? I'm contemplating what I want to do next for a merch idea. And here we have Rush Hour with 4 photos of me, 4 cartoon versions of me. I posted this to my Instagram, so you guys can let me know if this might be too many Daves. I don't know how many Daves is too many. Is 4 too many or not enough? Here's your paranormal update. Dan Rivera he died, and he was the ghost hunter guy who was touring around with Annabelle, the haunted doll. The paranormal investigator on the creepy Annabelle doll tour, who died completely out of the blue in the haunted Civil War battlefield town of Gettysburg, had a history of heart issues, and the coroner says his death was cardiac related. His autopsy revealed were released by County of Adams coroner Francis Dutroux, and they said Dan died from natural causes. Which again, this is probably a good example of confirmation bias, where you see someone who dies. You see that they're handling a ghost doll, a haunted doll, and you assume the doll caused it. Now, maybe it did. I don't know the occult. Did the doll tell his heart to stop? I don't mean to make light of this story. I have no idea. But it's so funny. It's kind of like the anti-vaxxers. Whenever anyone dies, did they take the COVID vaccine? Oh, it must have been that. As if people just don't die. People die. Sadly, people die. Everyone's built differently. Live the life you've imagined. Enjoy every day like it's your last. And whatever white girl motivational quotes you want to share. But sadly, he had heart issues. And by the way, you want to know something about me? Nothing has made me more aware of my own mortality than having a child. I literally stay up at night looking at my beautiful 15-month-old boy thinking, how can I live a longer, healthier life to provide for him? I don't have all the answers, but it has been a beautiful new layer I've unwrapped in my life, where I am now thinking of things way beyond myself. How do I provide for my family? And I want to thank everyone, really. I want to thank you for the fact that you've allowed me to be a content creator who can be at home, be with my family. I've got these curtains that open up in my office when I'm done working for the day, and they make this noise. Shh. They made this shh noise. And my wife tells me that whenever she's taking in, she'll put the baby down for a nap. And usually when he's done with his nap is when I'm done with working, and the baby will hear the sound of curtains and go, "Dada," and he'll pop his head up like a little prairie dog. And I'm telling you right now, those little things in life are so cherished. And I just thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to present you these news stories from my home office. It means the world. Billy McFarland, again, we've been reporting in the news, he's auctioning off the rights to his Fire Festival 2 documentary, and it's sitting at $15,000 with 2 days left to bid. I'm kind of wondering, does the Rush Hour podcast need to buy the rights to the Fire Festival 2 documentary? It would be a tax write-off. You guys let me know. I don't know if there's anything in it that's worth telling, but I will say, I'm kind of saying this as a joke, but maybe not a joke. He is banned from the Bahamas. Banned from the Bahamas sounds like a documentary I'd like to watch. Either way, I don't imagine we'll be bidding on this, but who knows? We'll have to see if Billy McFarland and what price he sells his documentary. And I wanted to share this. Speaking of content creation, it's never been a better time to be a content creator. You can literally make a career doing the most, irreverent things. And Bobby Altoff, a seemingly unknown person, was doing sort of the young female version of Zach Galifianakis between two ferns, where she interviews people with a curmudgeon attitude. Well, her big interview that broke her and has really made her family extremely wealthy was her interview with Drake. So she interviews Drake couple of years ago. It blows up. They become friends. Then Drake blocks her, has the interview removed. She gets a divorce from her husband. Nobody knows if she was in love with Drake. Well, now her and Drake are starting a podcast together. Here's the moment where they talk about the unfollowing, the blocking, and what came after that.
I am the biggest bump in your road, huh?
We got in a little argument.
Little tiff?
Little back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Via text message.
I was being a little chippy.
Within 20 minutes, I'm blocked on text, Instagram, everywhere in the interview has to be pulled
your
down.
message wasn't nice.
And then that was the end of our friendship.
Yeah.
Why did you hate me?
Can I get another rosé?
So they tell the story, and it's fascinating. She's a random content creator. He's one of the biggest musical artists, performers in the world. He's Drake, right? And they've somehow become friends, maybe more than that. I have no idea. I'm just telling you right now, if you ever want to get into YouTube, TikTok, content, whatever it is, there's never been a better time. I mean, the fact that this would never have been a conversation or a reality that could have happened in a past life. So Bobbi Althoff receives an extreme amount of hate because her relationship with her husband ended. I'm sure it didn't have to do with Drake specifically. She was on a trajectory to become a household name in some parts, and it ended amicably. But she still receives a lot of mom shaming on the internet.
The number one thing that I see in every comment section is she left her kid on her first birthday to interview Drake. 3 days before her first birthday, I threw a huge birthday party for her because her birthday was not on a Saturday. I had all of our family there. She was one. She's not going to remember that. My parents worked on so many of my birthdays, but that is people's biggest critique of me, is that I left my daughter on her first birthday.
You know, it's kind of similar when I've been accused, making family vlogs, which I really don't make anymore because of the time commitment. But I've been accused of don't be a family vlogger who exploits your child. And I have to remind people, I wouldn't have a child right now, planned at least, if it weren't for the abundance that's come from this world that I live in. It's just part and parcel with the world that I live in, which is, people know my son's name, and yet I have to be protective of him, and yet there's an audience that is able to support the trajectory that I'm on. So it's complicated. And Bobbi, for people to say, oh, you're missing your baby's birthday. Do you understand her kids are going to go to whatever prestigious school they want to go to for free now? Do you understand that if her kids, and I hate that this is the world we live in, but if her kids get sick, she can get them great medical care. This is the perk that comes with kind of creating your own life. And you might say, yeah, but I'd rather do it the other way. And listen, as a kid who was raised by a single mom who was a salesperson who would have to, be on the road all day long, and I had to call her beeper to, communicate with her. I'm telling you right now, I'm sure Bobbi has opened plenty of doors to be a great mom in the situation she's in. Okay, speaking of the internet, before we get into Laura Owens and Blake Lively and all of that, I just have to say, I love what Theo Vaughn is doing. He's literally interviewing doctors who are going into Gaza to help all of the victims of the senseless violence. He's interviewing people that are on the left, people that are on the right. And here he is interviewing an Amish boy, which is very curious. It's a curious community. And he's giving the Amish boy a Celsius energy drink for the first time, which might give him a heart attack. I'm telling you, I love Celsius. I'm wildly addicted to energy drinks. It's not good for you. I should probably tone it back. I try to drink them in moderation. And by in moderation, I mean every day at 2 p.m. But here he is, the moment he gives an Amish kid. And by the way, has this kid even been exposed to coffee before? And now he's having a Celsius energy drink?
Yeah. Have you ever had this before?
No, not this. No. Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's grape. I saw it's grape, so it's like really good. I'm gonna have to try this stuff.
Can you have a little bit?
Yeah.
No alcohol.
Okay. So what does it have in it? It's like water?
Bro, it's got caffeine and guarana seeds and horny goat seeds, probably.
Ooh, mine's cherry cola flavored. It's like
Oh.
spicy stuff.
Now, the cherry cola flavor is garbage. The orange is actually the best. Anyway, let's move on from there. So we have a big update coming in the Laura Owens case. We'll have this story next. Here's the minute entry from the Laura Owens case. State of Arizona versus Laura Michelle Owens. As you guys know, I am a star witness. Come January, I'll be spending some time in Scottsdale, Arizona. Go to rushhourwithdave.com if you want to see me perform in one of your preferred cities. Sign up for the mailing list. If you live in a town that has a comedy club that you would go to, write to that comedy club and let them know I'll come perform there, and then I'll follow up with them. But I'm trying to get on the road more. Either way, Laura basically wanted to go to San Diego, and she's not allowed to leave the state of Arizona without permission. Boy, let me tell you, you've really messed up in life if you need a court order for you to leave the state because you're under investigation. So the court has approved her order, and I guess they normally do this, to travel to San Diego from September 4th to September 8th, and from September 10th to September 15th, and from September 23rd to September 26th. And I have a live look at the men of San Diego that are now actually leaving San Diego. This is a live look at men leaving San Diego as they now don't want to fall victim to Laura Owens. Because again, if you cross paths with her, statistically speaking, you might get a restraining order on you. That's just a stat. 3 of, I don't know how many men that have crossed paths with her now have restraining orders. If you want extra content, Clayton Echard, a former bachelor, was on Megan Fox's YouTube channel. Fantastic interview. But here's a moment where he understood the cult sensation, which was the Justice for Clayton community supporting not just him, but his attorney, Greg Woodnick.
I'm gonna share this with you. So we had a phone call one day, and I don't remember why he was calling me. It was like when all the procedural stuff was happening. So we were always on the phone, and he's like, all right, I prepped you and everything. He goes, oh, by the way, he goes, have you been seeing what they're saying about me online? And I said, no. I go, what are they saying? He goes, they're calling me Zaddy. It's so funny.
They call me Zaddy. Chad, I hear a new song coming on.
Yes,
they
make a song for him because I remember the joy in his voice, right? He just said, they're calling me Zaddy.
Yeah, and now the truth is, there's plenty of robust group chats regarding this case. It's becoming a YouTube podcast series. If you aren't familiar with it, you found me through Blake Lively, you'll get caught up on all of this. I did receive a comment from someone, like a hater comment, saying, Dave, you would be nothing without the Blake Lively case. You know, people don't like you. They found you through that. They left me some snarky comment. And I was like, are you kidding me? We've been covering this case for years with a robust audience. The Justice for Clayton community is unmatched. Some of the nicest, most supportive and protective audience we've had, from Zaddy Woodnick all the way down. It is a cast of characters you will for sure be hearing more about. All right, well, let's go to Blake Lively. Here is a court document from Ken's, a content creator on YouTube, who is now demanding that Blake Lively pay her legal battles after the frivolous subpoenas were sent out. Movant respectfully urges this court to impose the most severe sanctions permissible under the law in light of the plaintiff's abuse of subpoena power. We want free Mint Mobile internet. The withdrawal should not shield the plaintiff from scrutiny or judicial oversight. The conduct reflects not only a disregard for the rules of civil procedure, but intentional weaponization of the legal system to harass, intimidate, and silence protected speech. Such misuse of judicial authority by a high-profile litigant against a private individual threatens the integrity of this court and the fairness of the proceedings. Movant therefore asks that the court exercise its full discretion to sanction the plaintiff to the maximum extent allowed, to send a clear message that this kind of conduct will not be tolerated. Wouldn't that be nice if you just get 50 grand or something like that from Blake Lively? I'd be like, can she cut the check? Can I get the check cut from Blake Lively herself? Hey, you know what, Blake, send me a Venmo. Everyone, we should find out what Blake Lively's Venmo is and just start Venmo requesting her. Anyhow, I wasn't subpoenaed, so I'm not involved. We are going to share now Katie Rose Pope. I don't think I've ever personally spoken to Katie, but I would love to interview her on my channel. She has great insight, very likable, breaks things down in a very natural, non-lawyery way. But there is a new win for Blake Lively that just came in. I think I've got the court document right here, that the judge has ruled in favor of Blake about a Signal chat. Blake they say to compel the production of a signal message chat allegedly improperly withheld from production by respondents, the Skyline agency. Lively subpoenaed the signal chat in connection with Lively v. Wayfarer pending in this court. So then they share the background of what went down, but let's just hear what Katie had to say about the signal chat here. And again, it's a win for Blake, possibly because the legal team had a little bit of an error here. Someone said, so the attorneys messed up? Yeah. Okay, it's a little hard to follow. Have a listen.
Which is kind of on the Wayfarer side in a way, did not argue attorney work product. And there is now an order granting Lively what she wanted.
So attorney work product is different from attorney-client privilege. And according to these documents, there was no attorney-client privilege because they shared the signal chat outside of the direct relationship between attorney and client. Did I get that right?
Which was this single chain signal chat. I'm kind of loosely going through it right now. But that's what this is insinuating, because it says the Skyline parties do not object on attorney work product grounds, and any such arguments are accordingly deemed forfeited. So, there's a slight difference between attorney work product versus attorney-client privilege. And it seems like they just argued attorney-client privilege. Both could potentially protect from disclosure and discovery, but they operate slightly differently. Work product can be, mental impressions, notes, things of that nature, like strategy around what you're trying to do for your client. In anticipation of litigation, it can also be hiring people, like, say your lawyer hires a forensics firm during a cyber breach. That could also be considered work product.
All right. So either way, the lawyering, this was a misstep, and Blake Lively is able to take advantage of that. So what comes of these messages, yet to be seen, probably not a big deal, but a win for Blake regardless. Okay, coming up next, we've got more on the Epstein files. Unbelievable updates, as we now have people with a real hard line in the sand taking the side of releasing the Epstein files versus the executive branch, Donald Trump, putting political pressure on some Republicans to vote against releasing the files. I've got all of the updates coming next.